New card, PogChamp, new card, PogChamp. Now, I know what you're all thinking. No, I can't. I apologize. No, I can't. I know that perhaps you all have another group of new cards, PogChamps, that you want me to talk about. I just want to remind you there is a provision within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Guidelines that prevents people from actively discussing material that was obtained fraudulently or leaked or risk a ban from the TCG. And I'm not going to risk a ban for the TCG if such a thing had even occurred. So instead, we are going to talk about Spring. The only card that came out this week, Spring. So if you're unfamiliar, this is called Haru, and I'll tell you this, I think that this is the wrong version. Okay. Once per turn, you can choose any number of your unused main monster zones, and if you do, place that number of season counters on this card. Also, those zones cannot be used while this card is on the field. Okay? Monsters you control gain 400 for each season counter on this card. And then once per turn during your opponent's end phase, you can take one field spell from your deck you can put a season counter on, put it face up on your field, but neither player can activate its effects this turn. And if you do, place all season counters on this card on that card. So what's going on? Well, I imagine that we are going to, like, once per quarter, get a new version of this card. We'll get like a summer, a fall, and a winter. And over the course of a year, we'll get something that actually does something. It's an interesting cycle of cards for sure. I do want to say the number one thing it is also is stun support. You play this in a deck that only ever wants to occupy one or two main monster zones, and suddenly your Pachycephalo beats over every normal summon. That's something. You play it in Sky Striker. You eat up all your main monster zones, maybe one to keep Ray alive, and suddenly your Kagari's 3,000 attack permanently. That's kind of cool. You know, there's just a lot of stuff you can do with this. That's it. That's new card PogChamp. Oh, we have one more? Oh, yes. Leo Wizard the Dark Mage, a card that shockingly is not a memento. I just sort of assumed that this was a memento card. It's doing the thing where they put a second frame in the frame. I love when they do that. Jongular Ghoul Illusionist also does this, so he can do a little bit of a frame break. Can you do a purr? I don't think so. Maybe like... That's more like a groan. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. Monsters whose original level is 4 or lower with 1350 attack and defense require 1 tribute to normal summon in from the hand. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a light monster, you can destroy that monster. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add a monster with 1350 attack from your deck to your hand. So some people have correctly figured out this is from a video game, which is kind of weird because you would expect that it would then be an illusion monster. But no, it's a spellcaster. And despite the fact that this card doesn't say memento in its name, chat is correct. It also is a memento card. Do you know who has 1350 attack? Just, let's get a guess from the chat here. That's right. Crass Clown. No, the Vomiting Horse. The Vomiting Horse. Of course, it has to be destroyed by battle or card effect, but I can't think of a way that Memento would destroy cards.